Welcome back to the Taame Hamikra course, and this video is very exciting because we're going to learn our first 5 Taamim. Now I know that it looks like there's more here, but don't worry, they're repeating themselves and we're going to learn them just fine. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. I'll give a little bit of an explanation of some of them. This is called Zakef Katon. The word katon refers to katan, which means small. There's also a zakef gadol. You don't have to worry about it, but it looks something like this. This is zakef gadol. This has kind of a short sound, I guess if you could say, or short tone, and this one over here has a longer one. So there is some logic to some of these ta'amim, but some of them I have no idea why they call them what they do. Like for example, the next one, tarha. I'm not sure what that means. This next one over here, shofar holech. Holech means to go in Hebrew, and basically the easiest way I can explain it is that it takes the sound of the upcoming dam. If that makes any sense. It may not make sense right now, but as we do this, you see what will make sense. And the next dam is atnach. And atnach comes from the word nah, lanuach, which means to rest. So the atnach usually appears somewhere in the middle of the pasuk, maybe a little bit before, maybe a little bit afterwards, but you give a little bit of a rest. This one's also kind of a rest. It's a very short rest, and this one's a longer rest, and it'll become more apparent as we do it. If you notice these two over here, ma'arich tarha, ma'arich pushes you to the next one, and this one is a little bit longer. It's kind of like parentheses, as I always describe it, and you'll understand how it goes. And then this one finally, the sof pasuk. This means the end of the pasuk, sof pasuk. It's going to appear in every single verse that you see in the Torah. Every single one of them is going to have a sof pasuk because it has to have, it's a period of sorts, so it's like a period. So almost all of the pesukim will have an atnach. All the pesukim will have a sof pasuk. You're going to see zakef katon quite a bit, a lot, and you're going to see ma'arich tarcha also a lot as well. We on the bottom, even though these are the same ta'amim that you learned up here, I mix and match them because oftentimes, even though ma'arich tarcha does, let me erase this over here. Even though these two do come together quite often, they also get mixed and matched. So just notice that this is just the opposite of this. Okay? And a lot of times it comes in tarcha, ma'arich, sof pasuk. You really should know them individually from each other, not as together. And when you learn them together, that's the tendency for the brain, is just kind of to group them together. But then later on, you're going to have to separate each one of them because they do come separate from each other. So it comes sometimes tarcha, ma'arich, sof pasuk, or tarcha, ma'arich, atnach. And we're going to learn the different combinations so that it becomes easier for you to read the Torah. And today, in this video, we're also going to learn the first pasuk of the Shema. Okay, pasuk number 1. Now, it doesn't look like a lot, but it includes all 5 ta'amim. Okay, let's get into it. And our first ta'am is zakef katon. And it's kind of a short, if I could say, not a very long tone. And it goes like this. Zakef katon, zakef katon. Just hear them and then you'll repeat after me. Okay, zakef katon. Just kind of soak in the information, and then we're going to have the chance to repeat. Again, zakef katon. And the next one is tarha, shofar holech atnach. Now the way that I'm presenting you the ta'amim is exactly how they appear as the first pasuk in the Shema. Remember, we're going to be learning this with the Shema. So, because you're familiarize yourself with the Shema, hopefully, then it'll be easier to learn. All you're doing is attaching the ta'amim with the tone, which is difficult enough, but it's easier when you already know the text instead of having to learn the text and the ta'amim and the names of the ta'amim. It's just a lot. So don't worry about the names of the ta'amim, by the way. I meant to say, if you learn the names organically as we're going along, because I say the names so often, that's great. But don't worry about memorizing the names. You don't have to know the names. All I want you really to do is to be able to associate the note or the symbol with the tone. Okay? And learning the name is also a plus, because if you're talking to somebody else, you can refer to it instead of just the two dots on top of the word. Okay, so I think the learning of the name is going to come organically. Okay, so let's review. This one is Zakef Katon Tarha. And then this one takes the upcoming Taam's note. Shofar holech atnah. See how they sound similar to each other? Shofar holech atnah. Again from the beginning. Zakef Katon Tarha. Shofar holech atnah. Remember I said that these were like parentheses? Okay, so this kind of opens up the parenthesis, and this one is a closed parenthesis, the tarha. So tonally, I guess you could say, it also kind of sounds the same if you want to think of it that way. And it goes like this. Ma'arich tarha. And this is atnah. Atnah is again to rest. It's a very kind of bland, neutral tone. So ma'arich tarha atnah. And then we're going to repeat it again, but sof pasuk. And this will be the last ta'am that you're going to learn for today. Ma'arich tarha sof pasuk. Again, starting from here. Ma'arich tarha atnah. Ma'arich tarha sof pasuk. Okay, let's review again. Zakef Katon. Now you can repeat after me. Okay, so again. Zakef Katon. Tarha. Shofar holech atnah. Let's start again from the beginning and repeat. Zakef Katon. Tarha. Shofar holech atnah. And continuing on to the next line. Ma'arich tarha atnah. And the final one. Ma'arich tarha sof pasuk. We're going to go to the last line. So I want you again to familiarize yourself how each one sounds individually. Tarha. Repeat after me. Again. Tarha. Ma'arich sof pasuk. You see how ma'arich doesn't really have a completion? Tarha has a completion. The tarha has a completion sound. Like it sums up the sound, if we can say it that way. Tarha, and that's it finishes. But this is ma'arich, and it doesn't end, it doesn't finish. So it needs a completion. Ma'arich tarha. See how together they sound like it's a complete sound. And then this one is a pause, atnah, and this one over here is sof pasuk. That's it. You've ended the pasuk. You've ended the idea, and that's how we know that we've ended the idea when we're reading the Torah. Okay, fun. Okay, let's do the last line again. Repeat after me. Tarha. Ma'arich sof pasuk. Again, tarha. Ma'arich sof pasuk. And now the last part. Tarha. Ma'arich atnah. Okay, let's run through the whole thing one more time. Then we're going to jump into the first pasuk of the Shema. And you're going to use the accompanying video that comes with this one. The next video, number 4, is the one that accompanies this video. So it's not as long and you don't get all the explanations. You just get to practice. Okay? Repeat after me. Zakef Katon. Tarha. Shofar holech atnah. Second line. Ma'arich tarha atnah. Ma'arich tarha sof pasuk. Last line. Tarha Ma'arich sof pasuk. And then the end, Tarha Ma'arich Atnach. Good. Okay. Now, remember this. You're not going to remember everything as soon as you end this video. You're not going to know it. You have to repeat it. Repetition over here is the greater teacher. It's better to say it little bits at a time, a little bit every day, than to say it for 1 hour in the week. Okay, let's look at the Shema. We're only going to do the first pasuk. Everything else we're going to omit because we don't know the Taamim. So let's look at the first pasuk. Remember, this is Zakef Katon. Okay, Zakef Katon. Oops, I'm writing it in Hebrew. Never mind. Okay, this first one. Zakef Katon. Now, remember your accent marks. Here you have one, and here you have one. I know that many people say ve'ahavta, but it's incorrect if you're following your accent marks. So it's ve'ahavta, ve'ahavta, ve'ahavta. And this is tarha. Et shofar holech atnach Adonai Elohecha. Again from the beginning. Repeat after me. Zakef katon ve'ahavta tarha shofar holech atnach et Adonai Elohecha. Now let's look at these two words. Actually, we're going to look at these set, this set, and this set. And this has something in common. Do you know what it is? Well, they all say bechol, right? Or they have some variation of chol, kol. But it also has an adjoining line for these two words. You see this line over here? It joins these two words. This line over here joins these two words. This line over here joins these two words. When you have that in your reading, it doesn't matter whether you're reading the tefillah or if you're reading the Torah, you're going to say these words as if they were one. But the Gemara says that you should distinguish one lamed from another lamed. Okay? This is one lamed, this is another lamed. So there should be a pause in between one lamed and the other. In the other words, for example, this one, you have a lamed and a nun, so you don't have to make that distinction or that pause. You can run it as if it's one word, and the same thing happens over here, okay? Remember, it's a line that joins these two words. And we're going to see it quite often. It appears a lot. Okay, so if we're going to start from here, this is ma'arich on the bottom, the other one is tarha, and this is sof pasuk. Okay, so this set of words carries one tam. This set of words carries the second tam, and this set of words carries the sof pasuk. Okay, ma'arich tarha, sof pasuk. Again, ma'arich tarha, sof pasuk. Now, how does it sound when we apply it to the words? Bechol levavecha uvchol nafshecha uvchol meodecha. Excuse me. Again, bechol levavecha uvchol nafshecha uvchol meodecha. There's a lot going on here. Okay, here you have levavecha. You have two accent marks, so make sure that you're saying both of them. And it's not levavecha. This is levavecha. Where are you? Here, this is levavecha. You see the difference? Well, if I didn't have all those marks on it, you would see. But see the difference between this levavecha, and this levavecha? This is at the end of the pasuk, and it has a long e sound, levavecha. This is levavecha, levavecha. Short e sound. The Sheva is only a short e sound. The Sheva is only a short e sound. It's never long e. The Segol is a long e sound, which is the three dots. Okay? So, after me. Bechol levavecha uvchol nafshecha. That's a gecko. Again. Bechol levavecha uvchol nafshecha. And the last two words, uvchol meodecha. You see how they join together? They run together. Uvchol meodecha. Again, bechol leva. Notice the pause. Bechol levavecha uvchol nafshecha uvchol meodecha. Okay, amazing. You did great. Okay, let's review this one more time. I'm going to say each word. You're going to repeat. Ready? Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvchol nafshecha uvchol meodecha. With the Taamim. Listen carefully. Zakef katon ve'ahavta tarha et shofar holech atnach Adonai Elohecha ma'arich tarha. Sof pasuk. Bechol levavecha uvchol nafshecha. Repeat. Uvchol meodecha. That's it. I want to stop here because this is a long video and it's a lot, really. I'm going to say it again. Remember, if you practice a little bit every day, it's going to be better than practicing one entire hour at the end of the week. You're just not going to get it like that unless you have like a super duper, great, awesome memory. I don't. But when I practice the Torah, I find that it's a lot better for me to do little bits every day than to just do it at the end of the week, which I used to do. On Shabbat, I used to practice early in the morning, the whole thing, and it just doesn't stick. You may cram it in, you know it enough for the test, which is reading the Torah, but it doesn't stay, it doesn't sustain itself. So again, practice every day just a little bit, and you can use now the accompanying video whenever you're ready to start your practice, video number 4, so that you don't have to go through all of the explanations again. It's just pure practice where we do the Taamim and we also do the first pasuk of the Shema. Okay? So, great to be with you, and I'll see you on the next video.